Say, okay, while the horsies are having their nap time, I had everything else planned it out. I was going to make the bed, do the laundry, do the dishes, do some exercise, and then I was going to come out and take care of the horsies because they were napping. I didn't want to interrupt their nap. And as I was preparing to make the bed, my husband said, do you want to dig the hole for the post for the dog pen? And I was like, it's not exactly what I planned for the day, but if he is in the mood to dig the post to put in the gate so that we can build the dog pen, by golly George, my answer is yes. Yes, that is what we're going to do for the day. So let me show you our plan for the dog pen. So every once in a while we need to put the dogs up because the dogs, they guard the perimeter. That's what they do. They're really, really good. They're excellent dogs for doing their job. They protect us from predators and they let us know when people are here and everything else. Very good dogs. They do exactly what they're supposed to. But sometimes when we have friends over, we need to pin the dogs up so that they, stay good guard dogs, but don't hurt any of our friends. So normally I tie them up, which they are only tied for maybe an hour or two while somebody is here, and then they're free roaming the 40 acres for the rest of the time. So I don't really like tying them up. There's something about tying the dogs up that I don't like. I don't feel like they're as comfortable when they're tied up, even though they have their food and they have water and they have their dog houses. It just doesn't feel as nice. So we are going to put a pin in the back of the shop, the garage. And this is where they originally were tied up. And then we moved their area to somewhere else. But this is where they like it. There's these really big oak trees right here. So in the summer, it's all nice and shaded back here. And then, of course, in the winter, as you can see, there's plenty of sun for when they are warm. Or they can get warm in the sun. And like I said, they will not be in here, but maybe a couple of hours while people are over. And then they will be back to being free. But what we're going to do is we are just going to build an above ground electric fence for the dogs. So we're going to use the exact same materials that we used for the horse pen for the dogs. And it will be exactly the same as having an underground electric fence, except for that they'll actually be able to see where the electric fence is, and we won't have to worry about collars that need to be charged all the time, because I am very good at forgetting to do something when I need to do it. But anyway, so right over here, we're going to put in a post so that we can have their gate up here in the corner. Look at that ice. This is how cold it is right now, y'all. Yeah, it's cold outside. Don't let the sun fool you. So anyway, we're going to use this gate, and we're going to put it up here and use the side of the garage to close the gate. So we're only going to need one post, and then we'll get an energizer just like we have for the, well, it won't have to be that strong. But anyway, we'll get an energizer to charge the fence, and then they have this little pin for an area for them to be pinned up when we have company over. And I don't have to worry about chaining them up because I don't like chaining them up. No, I don't. Okay, so that is what we're doing today. we got the gate in, which was what was supposed to be accomplished today. So we got the post in. We need to get a Houdini latch for the gate so that it can open and close, or be latched. We're gonna put a bar on it so that the gate can open only one way, because the gutter right there, we don't want it to be pushing on that all the time. So we're gonna have a block so that the gate only opens one way, but it can open all the way against there, so that it'll be against there whenever the dogs aren't in here, which will be most of the time. And we have these porcelain pieces for the electric fence, and we were short one, so we're gonna have to get another one to finish this top one. But it worked. We hooked it up for now. The electric's not on, obviously. We don't have the electric on, but and then we ran 4. It's going to be plenty to keep them in here. They're not going to, our dogs aren't jumpers. They're not going to try to jump. So this will be perfect. This is probably overkill for them, but got the all the way over there, and then up there in the corner, and that's their water container. I know it's kind of a silly water container, but it works. They don't chew it up, and they have plenty of water. I have to get wood chips, cedar wood chips for the dog houses, because they don't have them, but they haven't been using the dog houses. They have an actual heated electric bed on the porch, because that's normally where they sleep. But anyway, we'll make sure that they have cedar chips and stuff in their dog house before we ever have to keep them in here. But anyway, that is what we accomplished. We have to figure how we're going to run the line down all the way down, so that each fence is, or each wire is connected to each other, so they're all working. But yeah, there's our doggy pen, and it's gonna work fabulous. And it's not conventional. I know that it's definitely different, and I was a little taken back by it for a second, because my husband was the one that was like, why don't we just put an electric fence up for the dogs? And I'm like, hey, electric fence for the dogs? That doesn't sound very nice. But I mean, technically, it is the same as the underground fencing that they have for dogs all the time, except they don't have to wear the collars, and they can clearly see where the fence is, so they know exactly where their boundaries are. So it looks different, but to me it's the same, now that I've thought about that, because it's very true. If you have the underground fence, which looks really nice because there's nothing above ground, but dogs have to wear the collars, and then every time they get close to the wire that's buried, they get shocked. So this will keep them in. They'll know where the fence is, and they don't even try, because they're already trained with the horse fence not to mess with the fence. So they'll already know not to try to get to the other side of this fence. Anywho, that is what we have done today, and I am cold again. It got warm, so I took off my jacket and took off my scarf, and now I'm cold again. But now I'm going to go in, and I'm going to be done for the day. I have to take care of the horses tonight after dinner, because we were putting the fence up all day. But anyway, that's it. And the dogs are going to have a nice place to be. So thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow.